Okay, lesson 37, the line as a locus and the midpoint formula. The main thing, these two parts are not as long as the last lesson. I don't think it's that hard. This is the distance formula that you have to memorize. If you're going to find, this is the distance between 2 points. So our points are always x1, y1, and x2, y2. So what we're doing is we're finding the distance between 2 points. I don't know, just quickly, remember how we would have 2 points and then you would find the distance between the 2 points? These are really bad lines. So if you're going to find this distance, it's diagonal and you can't count on the coordinate system, the distance between these 2 points. So what we did was we made a right triangle and we would have a distance here. This would be our x distance and this would be our y distance. And we could get this distance by using the Pythagorean theorem. Well, this x distance is really the change in x, the change in the x coordinates, and the y distance is the change in the y coordinates. And the way you get the change is you subtract the x coordinates, and that gives you x, and you would subtract the y coordinates, and that would give you a y. So remember, we would do the change in x squared plus the change in y squared gives us this is our distance squared. And so that's all. This formula right here, that's all we have. That's all it is. It's the change in the x coordinates squared and the change in the y coordinates squared. And it would be distance squared, but we're just finding distance, so we take the square root of both sides. And it's not going to be plus or minus because distance is always positive. So that's how we come about this formula. They put the x2 first because they always do the final distance minus the initial distance. It doesn't matter if you have the second coordinate first or the first coordinate first, as long as you do the same with the y. So right away they're giving us a problem. It says write an expression for the distance between 4, 2 and xy. So this is you're not going to actually get any answer. They just want write an expression. They don't want to actually find the distance. So this would be your x1, y1. This is your x2, y2. So every place you see an x1, you put a 4. Every place you see a y1, you put a 2, etc. So this is all you do for this problem. So x2 would be x, minus x1 would be 4, plus y2 would be y, minus y1, which would be 2, and that's your final answer for that. They want you to find the actual distance, or they'll give you a point like 2, 1, and then you would put that in where the x and y are and actually find the answer. Alright, this is a little strange, but it's not hard. Definition of a line. A line is the locus of all points in a plane that are equal distant from two specified points. So this line is all the points that are equal distance from 4, 2 and negative 2, 3. So they want you to find the equation of this line. They don't give you that line, but you're going to find all the points that are equal distance from this point and this point, and that's going to be a line. There's going to be more than one point that's equal distance from both of them. Sorry, I have a cough here. A line is the locus of all points in a plane that are equal distant from two specified points. So your problems are going to look like this. Find the equation of a line that is equidistant from the point 4, 2, negative 2, negative 3. Write the equation in slope and intercept form. So all we're going to do is find the distance from here to some random point here. Oops. Some random point here, and that's going to be equal to this point and the same random point here. So we're going to find the distance from here to here and set it equal from the distance from here to here, and that will give us an equation of a line. It just works out so miraculously here. So here we go. We're going to call this point right here xy. xy. Okay, here we go. So we're going to use the distance formula. So we have distance 1, and then we're going to set that equal to distance 2. This is distance 1. So we'll go from here to here. So we'll just say y minus, whoops, let's do the x's first. It doesn't matter, you can do them in either order. So we get x minus negative 2 would be plus 2 squared plus your y plus 3, because it's a minus 3 squared. That's that distance. Now let's do this distance because they're equal distance. We're trying to find all the points that are equal distant from this point and this point. So all the points, remember it's going to be all the points that are equal distance that are going to form a line. So let's do this one. So we can do it the same way. We say x minus 4 squared plus y minus 2 y squared. Then we simply take the square root of both sides. We can do that, and that will get rid of our radical. And we're going to FOIL it all out. So here we go. X squared. Remember, you multiply these two together and take it times 2, so it'd be 4x plus 4 plus y squared. Multiply these two together times 2 plus 6y plus 9 equals x squared minus 8x plus 16 plus y squared minus 4y plus 4. Hopefully you know that little trick. When you're squaring a quantity, you don't want to say y squared plus 4. That would be really bad. It's FOIL, so you would take y times y and get y squared, and then your outer would be negative 2y, your inner would be negative 2y, so you get negative 4y. Or you can just multiply these together and take it times 2. Okay, the squareds are going to subtract away. X squared subtracted from both sides. We're going to subtract y squared from both sides. And then we just need to clean it up a little bit. So I'm going to just put all the y's on one side because we need to get it in slope-intercept form. So that's y equals mx plus b. So my logic says let's just get all the y's on one side. So we have 4y, negative 4y, so I'm going to add to both sides and I'm going to get 10y. This is kind of messy, so I'm going to cross these out just to keep track of them. Equals, and then I'm going to get all my x's and all my constants on the other side. So I'm going to subtract 4x from 8x, and I'm going to get minus 12x. Is that all our x's we have? Okay. And then here on this side I have a 13. And I'm going to subtract 13 from 4 and get minus 9. Hopefully I got that all right. Something says I might have gotten that wrong. 13, negative 13, is that going to be, I'm getting minus, oh, I forgot, I didn't add these together, there we go, 20. So I'm going to get 7, plus 7. And then I'm going to divide everything by 10, and I'm going to get y equals negative 12 tenths x plus 7 tenths. And of course you can't leave it like that, so you get y equals, looks like 6, 2 goes into both these, so it's negative 6 fifths x plus 7 tenths. And that's in simplified form. So you just have to pick a random point, x, y, and put it in for your other coordinate. The ones that make these x and y values that make this true are all the points that lie on this line, and every point on this line is equal distance from these 2 points. So whatever point, they're equal distance from both of these points. So you're going to see. Alright, we have to go to another screen, but this is really short, so be patient with me, please. Okay, the midpoint formula. Here's the midpoint formula. To find the x coordinate, you have 2 points that are somewhere or other. Here's 2 points. And if you're going to find, these have coordinates, that was really bad, x1, y1, x2, y2. We want to find the point that's right here in the middle of these 2 points. So you use the formula to find the middle of the x coordinate. You add these two up, divide by 2 to find the midpoint. For the y coordinate, you add the y coordinates, divide by 2. So real quick, find the coordinates of the point halfway between negative 2, 6 and 4, negative 10. So of course this is x1, y1, x2, y2. So we add our x's together. So it's going to be negative 2 plus 4 divided by 2. And that's going to be 2 divided by 2, which is just 1. And then we find our y-coordinate. Just add your y-coordinates together and divide by 2. I don't want to have a wrong answer here. Yeah. So just do your y-coordinates. So your y equals 6 minus 10 divided by 2. So that's negative 4 divided by 2, and so you get negative 2. So the midpoint of the coordinates is going to be 1, negative 2. So that's it for all the lessons for this week for lesson 37.